So, you want to know what it's like to live in South Philly? Well, okay. A lot of people are moving here, and I've grown here. I've grown up here. I've been lifelong South Philly guy, born and raised here, and I wouldn't want to have grown up anywhere else. South Philly's a tough place, and it taught me a lot. And I know we get a bad rap, we get a bad reputation and everything, but don't believe everything you hear. It is a great place. So there's one thing that makes me absolutely crazy, it really twists my gajonies, is when people say they're from South Philly and they are clearly not. There was this guy, we were in a group of us, and he was like, oh, you gotta, if you want a good hoagie, you gotta go to Richie's. And I'll be like, where are you from? And he'd be like, South Philly. I'm like, where are you from in South Philly? Delco, right outside South Philly. Same thing. It's not the same thing, okay? There's nothing wrong with Delco people. But I knew you were not from South Philly right off the bat when you said hoagie. I'm in Girard Park. This used to be this rich guy's big mansion area. This whole neighborhood really is called Girard Estates. And I don't know if this was like the only thing that was here. I don't know too much about it. I don't know if that's where he lived or there was more to it. Like this whole property was like something and they scaled it down for the park. I don't know. But it's a really nice park. So no matter where I go, I get a lot of questions about South Philly. People are always asking me questions about South Philly. But let me answer some of the most common. So, is it dangerous in South Philly? It's just like anywhere else. There's good parts of South Philly, there's bad parts of South Philly. If you're gonna come here and move to a good one. Does crime happen here? Of course it does. How are the people in South Philly? That's the other one. How is it there? It's very diverse. It's very diverse. You have, some parts of South Philly are mostly Italian. Some parts of South Philly are mostly Irish. Some parts are black. Some parts are Asian. Some parts are Latino. It's a very diverse part of the city. And then you have your neighborhoods. And this is happening more and more often. You have your neighborhoods that everybody's together, which I think is great. But for the most part, you gotta understand something. No matter where you go in South Philly, the people, it's all based on respect. If you come here and you start disrespecting people, they don't like that here. You're not gonna be treated well. But if you're respectful, if you're cool with everybody, you're not an asshole, then you'll like it here. Here's a big one. Parking. Parking can be terrible here in South Philly. Some nights I'm driving around for 15, 20 minutes just to find a spot, and that spot will be 2, 3, 4 blocks away sometimes. Most of the new homes in South Philly that are being built, which are being built all over the place, will have their own driveway and garage. You don't have to worry about it. But most of the old homes in South Philly, it's all street parking. So if you move here to South Philly and there's a spot in front of your house, that's not yours. That belongs to everybody. Some people move here and they think the spot in front of their house belongs to them. It doesn't. Anybody could park there. So if parking is a real problem and it really irks you, I suggest doing what everybody else does in South Philly and get an illegal handicap sign and put it up. Is there really a mafia? There's no such thing as a mafia. How are the house prices? Me personally, I think they're out of control. For a little rectangle house, 1,300 square feet can go anywhere from $300,000. My house in my old neighborhood, which is smaller than the one that I have now, is over $500,000. So the new stuff that they're building right down the street here. I'll show you them. They're $1 million a piece. $1 million for that? What I like about South Philly. Oh, there's a lot I like, but if I moved from here, the first thing that I would miss is the food. The food's tremendous. I'll put the city's food up against anything in the world. It is tremendous. The food is just delicious. Now, I love Italian food. And some of my favorite Italian places, I wrote them down because I'm never going to remember them. Scanicchio's, Ralph's, Victor's Cafe, Poppy's, Dante and Luigi's, Mara's. Mara's has been on Passyunk Avenue for over 100 years. It's one of the oldest. Actually, I think Ralph's is one of the oldest. They're both old, actually. They're both around 100 years of Italian food. I mean, that's amazing that you're around for like 100 years. Not the actual people, because, well, they wouldn't look too good right now. Here's a little South Philly history. I'm back in my old neighborhood where I grew up. Grew up right around the corner from this place. But this is one of the Italian restaurants I was talking about, Victor's Cafe. Check it out. Victor's Cafe is special. It's been around here forever. But it may look familiar to you because this is actually Adrian's from the movie Rocky. This was Adrian's restaurant, or Rocky's restaurant eventually when she passed. But this is where they filmed it. This is where Stallone walks into his restaurant. He's my hero. I love this guy. And if you would have said, hey, Nick, one day he's going to be right around the corner from where your house was, I would have been like, yeah, right. But another great thing about South Philly is everything is within walking distance. There's all kinds of shopping centers here. Right now I'm at the Quartermaster Plaza. Look, we got Walgreens, Hand and Stone, Mattress Firm, Jerusalem Furniture. There's a Foot Locker in here. There's a Home Depot. There's a BJ's. And we have a couple of these. You got a shop right across the street over there. Everything's Aldi's over there. Everything is in walking distance. And if you can't walk, if you are in the other part of a neighborhood or something, SEPTA runs through these streets all day long. It's so easy to get to, or hop on one of these, what do you call these portable bikes around here? I don't know, you pay for it and you ride. Everything's close together. And if you wanted to go to Center City, it's a 15-minute bus ride or a bike ride. And up there, you're going to have more stores and more shops and theaters and more great food. So on top of that, you have your grocery stores, and little delis on the corner of almost every neighborhood. There's just stores everywhere. All kinds of stuff. Butchers, hair places, hoagie places, food places, you name it. Then you also got Passyunk Avenue, guys. Passyunk Avenue is an old Indian trail. And now it's just full with shops and cafes and restaurants, and this is a really cool place. This died off for a while, like during the 90s, and then now it's like revitalized. It's like a major hotspot in South Philly. Of course, you got the Italian market. It's still here, but I'm right near the Italian market. I believe I'm on 10th Street, and I want to show you something that you really don't see much of anymore. Look at this. Back in the day, the Italians used to play a game called bocce, and these were bocce courts. And you don't see these anymore. I mean, I know there's one on Oregon Avenue in South Philly, but you really don't see these anymore. And what bocce was is I never really played it, but there were these balls, and you'd be a group of guys, and you would roll the ball on this dirt field, and you would try to hit another ball to knock it out of play or something like that. And the old Italian men used to play that all the time. I remember when I was young in my neighborhood, around 12th and Dickinson, at Columbus Square, they had a bocce court. and I remember watching the old men play those games all the time. I don't know, it's like, it's just like a flashback to a time before phones and electronics and everybody had their head up their ass. And they were outside enjoying life. You know, that's what it reminds me of. That makes me happy. Best cheesesteak, I'm going to say Angelo's. But I don't go there that much because the lines are just always tremendously long, and they close early, you know, too early. And I'm not going to wait in that line, regardless of how good it is, when there's, you know, 50 other fantastic cheesesteak places in South Philly to go to. But best cheesesteak, I would say it's a toss-up between Angelo's and John's Roast Pork. Best hoagie, Ricci's. I don't want to hear it. Ricci's has the best hoagies in the city. If you go there, you want to get the old-fashioned Italian hoagie. They have an Italian hoagie and an old-fashioned Italian hoagie. I'm in love with the old-fashioned Italian hoagie. It's just so good there. That's a highly recommended place. Best pizza, that's easy. Enzo's Pizzata, 18th and Wolf. Angelo's has a good pizza too, but I'll put Enzo's up against it any day of the week. Really good, top quality pizza there at 18th and Wolf in South Philly. Nick's my friend. Go in there and ask for him if you come down here. That's some great pizza. He also has some great sandwiches there too, like chicken cutlet sandwiches and things like that, meatball sandwiches. Really, really good stuff at Enzo's. Another thing about South Philly is if you're a sports fan, that's a big thing here in South Philly. They love their sports here. And what's good about it is all of the sporting facilities, the sports complex, are right near each other. You can walk across the street, go from the Citizens Bank Park to the Link, or the Link to the, well, whatever. You can go anywhere you want. And right near all these sports complexes is a casino, live casino. Yeah, South Philly's got a really nice casino, guys. So overall, South Philly, yeah, it's a nice place to move to. You know, you just, you know, you gotta be willing to, you know, accept it. It's not perfect. No place is perfect. But for convenience, everything is here, man. Everything is just right here, anywhere you go in South Philly. You don't have to travel far. It's a tight-knit community. Everybody looks out for each other. And overall, I think it's a good place to move.